Speaking of progress, we're making great progress here. I think it's episode 17. So we recorded 14, 15, 16, and now 17 all in one day. Maybe I shouldn't be telling you that, but if you're watching this, you know this is Find Music. There it is. And our mission, of course, is to turn you on to music you may not already know, even if it's by an artist you might already know. I just finished talking about 3.2. You probably never heard of, but definitely if you're ELP inspired, don't miss it. And Fred just talked about another fascinating tribute album. This one was Mercury Rev's take on Bobby Gentry. Talk about a fascinating concept, right? I mean, you know Bobby Gentry if you're of a certain age, and you might know Mercury Rev too. What did they do? Got to check it out. So for episode 17, I'm going to go with a band that I've enjoyed, and band is almost the wrong word for this group because it's not necessarily a group. It's really the mind of one man. And I'll bring up the screen share so I can show you what I mean. Let's see, there it is. Yeah. See, the screen share is still on 3.2, but I'll take it off and head down to the A's. And that band I want to talk about is Amorphous Androgynous. Now, if you know this band, you're a rare person because this is not a popular group. Their other iteration, they're a little more popular, but they did something to freak out their fans totally. All right, first let me get you the name. Got to head down to the F's. The end of the F's, and they're called the Future Sound of London. Now this band, the Future Sound of London, they were really big on the club scene. You know, music you can dance to, right? You can chill to in the clubs. No surprise in sound there. The one thing they did that was different was their music was made from samples, only from samples initially. Samples put together and make it into a song. What a great concept. And so the album that turned me on to the Future Sound of London way back in 1996 was called Dead Cities. And I wish I could remember how I found this song back in 1996. That's my pre-computer era. I didn't get a computer until 1998. So how did I find this band? Maybe I found them later. That could be a possibility. Maybe I didn't find it when it was new. But I remember in 1995, 96, I was still listening to new music. Anyway, getting to the point, I heard a song called Dead Cities, and it started with a spoken word intro. And then I noticed toward the end of the song, I'm going to myself, that sounds like Vangelis. What's that doing in a dance song? Vangelis in a dance song? Vangelis, that's that movie soundtrack stuff, right? You know, it's ethereal. So that should have been a clue to me that this guy, he's not just a danceaholic. He also has an ethereal side. So that album, Dead Cities, as you go through the album, it gets more and more ethereal toward the end. The two dance hits are Dead Cities and We Have Explosive. We Have Explosive was definitely a UK hit. I don't know how much it did in America, but it was a definite UK hit. And they put out some other songs that were more quirky. Not in hardcore dance, more like a more reflective. And they would do remixes. I think the ones that were done here, they did that My Kingdom and Antique Toy, and even The Age. That one's a bit of a goer. So it was a good album. I thought, okay, I've discovered a new dance band. And then came the surprise. How many years later was it? They didn't come out with a new album for 6 years, not until 2002. And here's the kicker. This album is totally different. To describe this album, it sounds like the soundtrack to those Mike Myers movies, Austin Powers. It's got that 60s vibe, psychedelic, sitar music. Fun. Okay, fun. What happened? And the crazy thing is, I mean, maybe the regular fans had a problem with it, but I didn't. I totally dug this. I dug this even more than Dead Cities, and Dead Cities was good. This album, top to bottom, look at it, 4 stars. It's one of my few 4-star every track albums. I love this album. Every track is spectacular. Where do I begin? The Mellow Hippo Disco Show. All right, he's got a sense of humor. And it doesn't hurt for me personally that when I hear this song, the repeated phrase in the song is something like, get your mojo, Jojo. And Jojo is my pet name for my daughter. So I listen to this song, it makes me think of my daughter. But it's a groovy song. There's your 60s word. It's a groovy song. And every song is like this. Here's another example of his quirkiness. Track 3 is Goodbye Sky, the reprise. And then the last track on the album is Goodbye Sky. Okay, so the reprise comes first. No problem. It's only a minute. And then one of the most spectacular cuts on this album is the 5th track, the Galaxial Pharmaceutical. 15 minutes and not a boring second in the song. 15 minutes. It just melts 15 minutes away. It's awesome. I like all of these. Divinity, very strong 8-minute song. Guru song, 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So it lives up to its title. Look at these titles. Go Tell It to the Trees, Egghead. Her Tongue is Like a Jellyfish. High Tide on the Sea of Flesh. That's one I've shared on Steve's Music Machine because we had a little body part episode a couple days ago. It's just fun. It's a fun record. It's got that 60s vibe, the psychedelic vibe, late 60s, you know. Well recorded, spectacular sound. And then, what does this guy do? He comes out with an alternate mix of it, and he changes the name of the group, I guess, because it wasn't a hit as the Future Sound of London. So he creates Amorphous Androgynous, a new group name. And the album comes out, and I'll show you. Totally different order of tracks, totally different mixes. Let me get up there so I can show you this. Get up there, get up there. There we go. Amorphous. All right, so here we have the Isness again. And this time, it's only 13 tracks, not 15. And to top it off, there are 2 tracks that weren't on the previous album, The Lovers and the Isness. And The Lovers is a good song. But as you can see, this is not all 4 stars. Some of the remixes, I don't like them as well. The Mellow Hippo Disco Show is still wonderful. Longer even, so I love it. Elysian Fields has got knocked down from 1st track to 5th track, and it's shorter, still good. Goodbye Sky reprise is unchanged. Go Tell It to the Trees, Egghead is the same. Divinity is the same. Guru song is shorter now. I was disappointed. Osho is shorter, disappointing. Her Tongue is Like a Jellyfish is the same. And High Tide on the Sea of Flesh is a little longer. And you remember that 15-minute track, the Galaxial Pharmaceutical. Now it's only 14 and a half. And it's different. It's different. It's different. Still good, but different. So this is just, it's a real change. It's not the same album. Almost as good, but it's a good alternative. I'll put it that way. So at this point, I'm saying, wow, I wonder if, Lightning is going to strike twice. Are they going to do this again? Is he going to do this again? And so, much to my surprise, he did. In 2005, 3 years later, they came out with this album called Alice in Ultraland. But like most sequels, not as good as the original. It's got some great songs on it. All Is Harvest, Indian Swing, love that Indian sound. In the Summertime of Consciousness, those are the best tracks, but the other ones are kind of rehashing what's already been done. Still got wit. You look at those titles, they're witty, almost as good. It makes a good companion, but I definitely recommend the isness in both iterations first. And just to finish off with Amorphous Androgynous, made some more albums. In 2008, for some reason, I think this is a soundtrack. I have to check that. The Peppermint Tree and the Seeds of Superconsciousness. Now this time the tracks are shorter, nothing over 6 minutes. Some tracks are only 30 seconds. So maybe it is a soundtrack. The title track, The Peppermint Tree, awesome. I like Tiny Space Birds. It's so different, really good. And Rocket Fuel, oh, might be the best thing he's ever done. Rocket Fuel really rocks. It's got energy. And then it ends with Mr. Sponge's Groovy Oscillations, which leads into, really, it's like one song. It's a Sunshine Day. And maybe you've heard it, It's a Sunshine Day. That's a sample of a song by, I think it's the Partridge Family. They had It's a Sunshine Day, or one of those TV groups. Oh, this is too much for me. I'm getting too excited. Oh. So I had some fun listening to them. And this guy, I guess, as he's matured, he's still having fun. So there's one more record to talk about. And it's not it's not Amorphous Androgynous, that's right. He kept the other name, The Future Sound of London. And get there as fast as I can for you. Try to finish this episode using the finger here. Okay, bam. Double hit, that's right, okay. So just so to be a completist, I'm telling you that under the name Future Sound of London in 2014, came out with an album called Environment 5. I guess there are 4 earlier iterations before Dead Cities. This one's Environment 5. And so this music is strictly ambient. It's pleasant, it's not gonna rock you, it's not gonna dance you, it's not even gonna 60s you. It's ambient. It's okay. It's okay, I'll leave it at that. And then there's a Life in Moments that came out the next year, 2015. This one is trying to please everybody. It's got a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of dance, a little bit of 60s, a little bit of ambient, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's okay listening if you're a fan like me of Future Sound of London and Amorphous Androgynous. Oh, that reminds me. He even changed the name of Amorphous Androgynous to The Amorphous Androgynous. The new album, 2021. Gotta go back. Get up there, get up there. How do I get up there? There we go. I'm trying to do it the fast way. So they're called, where are you? Get there. Too many A's, too many A's. Thank you, John Anderson. Okay. Yeah, it's called The Amorphous Androgynous. This is 2021. This guy's up to his tricks like always. This album is called We Persuade Ourselves We Are Immortal. So you think it's going to be, you know, hey, it's going to be that 60s guru stuff again. Not quite. This time he's got choruses. Choruses going on. They're like high female voices, high female choruses going on. So that's another element that's been added on. So this album, I just got it. I'm still digesting it, so I haven't rated it yet. But it's considered space rock now. Maybe that is the best categorization for it now, because this thing is spacey. All right, if there's anything that's true about the Future Sound of London / the Amorphous Androgynous, is it's spacey. Whether it's danceable, whether it's groovy, whether it's ambient, or this one I'm still trying to figure out. but it's listenable. I mean, I really enjoy hearing it. It's good instrumental music, mostly. Get occasional vocals, but the vocals are in the background. Like another group that I like a lot, I'll talk about in a future episode. All right, done, covered it. Didn't play a single second of sample. So no trouble with episode 17. I just want to reiterate, if you like late 60s psychedelic music, check out the Future Sound of London's album, The Isness. If you like electronic dance music, check out the album Dead Cities by the Future Sound of London. Start there, those two albums. If you like those, venture on. Okay? All right.